Hello, you guys. We are here for a new episode on season 2, and I'm so excited. Shay, what we doing today?
I love this. I love this. What we are talking about today is Black language. And of course, we couldn't just do this by ourselves. We
Not at
had to
all.
bring a guest. And can you guess who our guest is?
Hi, I'm back.
Yes.
She's back.
She's back.
Yay! Welcome,
Yes.
Lola.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you
Yes.
so much for coming. We appreciate it. So, Shay, when we talk about style in Black culture, why is language such a big part of how we express it?
Because it is tied to storytelling. So, language carries our history, it carries our humor, our resistance, and that's why it's huge for us. Words really help us name ourselves when systems didn't. So, it's how we show up, it's how we express who we are. And so, that's why it's so important. And how we talk about style itself is style. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the style, the language that we speak. So, that's why.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so we gonna go to Lola. Lola, growing up, what were some words or phrases you heard people use describe style and getting dressed?
I grew up in Maryland, but I went to high school in Nigeria. I'm Nigerian. I was born there. And so I grew up hearing Black Americans talk about style using words like swag, fresh, cool. But it was similar in Nigeria. The high school that I went to, the general population of kids that I grew up with, we also use the term fresh, the term steez. I went to a boarding school. We had to wear uniforms, and there were days where we were allowed to wear non-uniform clothing. And so people would describe the process of getting dressed up. They call it buffing up. Like, you're going to buff up for Mufti Day. Oh, I remember.
wow.
I would have those outfits planned weeks in advance, okay? And then on the opposite end, there was a word called Raz. We still use Raz. Like, that's the opposite of cool, the opposite of swaggy. Like, look at you, you're so Raz. Like, I love it. I love Nigerian styling language because it's also evolving as, the youth are coming up, and I love to blend the cultures when I talk about style.
I love,
I love that.
that.
That's
Oh
why,
my
that's why
God.
Lola is our guest.
Yeah.
Yes, come on.
Yes,
Come
just
on.
it's good to hear it.
Yes,
like, you
giving
know?
us a mixture of fits and facts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. See, we learning something.
Exactly.
This is what this is about. I'm just
Yes.
saying. Oh, I'm excited.
Okay, so Mo, when someone says a look is clean, hard, or put together, what does that mean to you visually?
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna say it's kind of they're all the same. Some ways, just saying it in different ways. I feel like, but I went to chat because I'm like, look, I want to see what they're saying. So for clean, it means like sharp lines, like the colors being cohesive. And then hard, it says silhouettes, bold contacts, edgy materials. And then put together is polished. So balanced, thoughtful details.
That
So I
matches.
wanted to see what they were saying because I feel like we always say it's the same. But I will say clean will be, to me, be polished. Like it's sharp,
A
I've
suit.
yeah,
that
suit.
suit is clean. There you go.
So suit, dress, stuff like that. So it's kind of the same, but for different things. So I just wanted to read off what they were saying. So, it makes sense, So yeah.
Okay, so Lola, what's a style word you use instinctively without thinking about where it came from?
Swag. That's one of my favorite style words. I use it often, and I don't often think about how it originates from the word swagger because it's taken on a mind of its own. But
Yeah.
yes, swag.
That is so true. When I say swag, I don't think about that anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
nobody
Yeah,
swagger,
swag.
like-
Okay, so I'm gonna ask just random impromptu word. So what's yours?
Okay, well, they caught me off guard because I don't even know. I feel like it depends on what you have on. But Because usually I just say like slay, you know, yes.
Yeah.
Like, right. I think I say that a lot. Like, yes. So but.
So mine be like, okay, put it on, girl. Okay, I see you. You know, that. And then I like drip.
Yeah.
I love drip.
Yeah.
Like drip is, I'll be like, that's drip. So, okay, I just wanted to do that to add something in there. Okay. So, Shay, how has Black language historically shaped the way we talk about fashion and style in America?
So Black language has given fashion its rhythm, attitude, and feeling. It shifted style talk from technical to expressive, as you can see. And slang named looks before fashion institutes did. Sorry, that came out wrong. It sounded weird. Sorry, but before fashion institutes started taking on slang, we're doing that. The words were already out, and they adopted that from us. And then language turned clothes into identity and mood. So it's not just outfits, which, you know, Lola always giving us the mood, which we love. Yes.
When did you realize that a lot of fashion language people use come from Black culture?
When I was in high school, I was an avid Tumblr user. I was on Tumblr religiously until Yahoo bought it. But that's a story for another day. And I learned a lot about fashion from Tumblr. I learned a lot of Black history. And that was when I first started learning about cultural appropriation. And I started putting the pieces together that, like everything Black people do, everything Black people create gets co-opted. And so that's when it really dawned on me, because I wasn't really thinking about that in my childhood. And then moving from the US to Nigeria, like I wasn't thinking about that until I started learning from it, different bloggers, and really understanding like, no, this is, we started this.
Right.
Yep.
And you know, it's still, the fact that that's still a debate, but also even with like cultural appropriation of people still trying to say that's not a thing. And it's like, it still is.
It's a thing.
Very much.
It is.
Just like how now everybody want to wear braids. I'm just saying.
Man.
It's a thing. Because I've been wearing braids as a little tiny girl. And we get
Yeah.
it from our ancestors.
Literally, I remember, I think I was getting braids from as young as 3 years old.
Yeah.
I always had a braided bob
Ooh,
with
I still
beads.
remember
Like,
the
and
braid
that must be
bobs.
why I love bobs now. I always love bobs.
Man, we was in our auntie era at 3.
Right.
You know, my mom was
Tell me about
staying with
it.
the bob.
Right.
That's so funny. But yeah, I agree.
Mo, how do these words influence how people get dressed, not just how they describe outfits?
Because I did write something, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I feel like for okay, for example, like I got dressed today and we had our like what we were wearing, and we put okay, we're gonna wear a black, how can I describe black fashion, like what we wear, what our drip, you know. So I kind of went into it thinking like, okay, I know bamboo earrings. I feel like we put it on. So I felt that, okay, wear what you want, but spice it up with things that we're known for. Like how, like you wearing your 49er, but you got your cargo pants. It's something that we like mix those colors and stuff like that. You with your culture. Like I don't know. I just wanted to go into it a little different this time when it came to, how can I put this? Okay, I got a brain. I'm having a brain
No,
for
I
it.
think you hitting it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
just us tapping into our culture. Because normally,
Yeah, like looking at, I feel like we
Yeah.
think about it a little different when we get dressed because we
it's
have so
us.
much stuff that's us.
It's
Yes.
us. And
Thank
so
you.
we were using, this time we actually look within and used inspiration to say, okay, look
Yeah.
and draw from inspiration.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know, it's like we wear it and this is what we do. So I feel like we are the actual definition of the slang. Like we do it every day. We're slaying. We got the swag on. We dripping. Like it's just what we do every single day. So that's why I just wanted to say it freely. I was just like, I have to, because what they're saying, I just feel like it's the same thing as the last thing that I said. But yeah, we know that clean will be more for suits. Yo, drip, you got drip on. You putting your well put together. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how
And I
I
think
say it
that's
like
what
that.
also that's great about us is that it really doesn't matter what the occasion is. If we feel like putting it on, we're just gonna put it
We
on the
gonna
way we
put
want
it
to put it on.
on.
And I think it's sometimes we're so tied, they'll tie our culture just to streetwear alone. And yes, we are the blueprint of streetwear, but we the blueprint of all types
Yeah,
of
but that's why I
fashion,
love that
you
we
know?
all different.
Mm-hmm.
We all have different stuff. Like I did a little bit of urban, like I twisted it up with more like couture type of look. I don't know. I just changed it up. But then you have your culture on, and then and then you have like streetwear. So I feel like it's yeah.
Have you ever changed an outfit because it didn't match the energy you were trying to give?
Yeah, I do that all the time. I typically dress how I feel. And when you dress how I'm a stylist, so I think very critically about style because, if you're someone who's just naturally inclined to get dressed,
Yeah.
that's just what you do. But then when you work with other people, you have to learn how to teach them how to translate their essence into clothing. So I'm
Yes.
constantly thinking about that now. So I use a lot of adjectives in getting dressed. And if I feel like I'm wearing something and it's not giving that vibe, I have to change it. I'm doing a
Yeah.
series where I go back through my history with clothing and like I restyle my old looks. And sometimes in those videos too, I'll be like, oh, this isn't how I thought it would land in my head. It's not summery enough. And then I'll grab a color that might make it feel more summery. If I don't feel like I'm swaggy enough or cool enough, I have to flip something on its head. And I think that's the magic of getting dressed. I don't even get mad anymore when the outfit doesn't hit the vision because I know I can always add something or take away something. And that's my favorite part about getting dressed is like solving that puzzle.
I love that. Yeah, and I always tune into your segments because I think it's inspirational. It make you want to go back yourself and look at your clothes like, oh, let me take a different perspective of I wore this
Yes.
outfit this way. How can I change
You
it
have the
up?
material already. You don't have to think too
Yes.
hard.
Yes.
Look, I'm sitting here trying to you see what I need to look,
Well,
don't
like,
judge me,
Mo
y'all.
was over here like, look, let me hurry up and find this next question.
I'm
Oh
over
my
here. I heard
God.
everything you said though, but I'm like, let me go. And then I done went too far. Jesus Lord. Look, it's always gonna be a joke on here laughing, Okay, where we at, Shay?
Okay.
Okay, why does the language from Black communities so often get adopted by mainstream fashion without credit?
Because Black culture is treated as a resource and not intellectual property. So it's often taken, used, and profited off of without the permission or credit. And mainstream values aesthetic, but not the people behind it. Also, looks travel faster than the history. And so that also gets muted. And it's, even though it's adopted worldwide, our history's not. And it's also part of a way to kind of erase our culture. And so that's why it's so often adopted by mainstream and we don't get the credit for it because it's kind of easy for them to do it because of no one likes to tell the history except for us. And that's why we have us to make sure they know. When I'm rocking this, my hair, my pants, everything, there's a history, there's a story behind it that connects us, And I'm going to kind of throw us off script a little bit because we have Lola sitting here and I would love to kind of get a little bit of history of what you have on the connection to your roots and your cultural roots.
Yeah. My roots are Nigerian and we can't talk about Nigeria and fashion without talking about slavery. And I just want to say this might be controversial, but I think one of the main reasons why just as a whole Black communities globally are treated the way they are by Western society is because the levels, how do I phrase this succinctly? we're so creative, we're so innovative because of our circumstances. And so those circumstances need to be perpetuated so that people can co-opt our culture, so that we can keep innovating. But anyway, what I'm wearing, so today I'm wearing a blend of what I feel like is me. I'm Nigerian, I'm American, I have a gele on. I don't know if y'all have heard that trending sound, I'm gonna marry a Nigerian and you're gonna wear a gele to my wedding. Yes, I'm wearing a gele. I'm also wearing an Aso Ebi skirt. This was part of a set for my mom's 60th birthday. And I figure typically, you know, when you go to a party as a Nigerian, you'll wear your Aso Ebi, which is like when everybody gets the same fabric and wear it in different styles so that they can represent what side they're from. They wear it's one and done. Maybe if you go to another party that has the same color scheme, you can rewear it, but typically people don't get a lot of rewear out of it. So I've taken it upon myself to figure out all the different ways that I can incorporate gele, Aso Ebi into my everyday wear as somebody living here in the States. So I got my trench coat on because I live in Northern California and it's a bit chilly right now.
It is cold.
And then I have these burgundy Air Force Ones on. One of my brothers got them for me for Christmas, and I figured, like, why not? Like, I love to spice outfits up by doing something that doesn't match. So yeah, that's a little bit more about my outfit. And of course, I have my sunglasses on because I have to maintain my mysterious persona.
I got it when I seen you walking. I said, I get her
I
look.
love the look. Yeah. So thank you, for sharing, because I know that wasn't originally a question, but I was like, we have to
so we can
this
know
history, this knowledge.
Yeah. And then we could put it in the description too, like exactly how to spell the things and all that. Yeah. So they know. Because we got to give them that. We educating on YouTube and other platforms. So, okay, Lola, have you seen a word or phrase move from the community using to trend language?
Yes, there are several, but I want to talk about eating a look up, right? Because a lot of words come from Black queer culture, Black ballroom, Black trans women. A lot of these words and phrases are used to communicate. I'm a queer person. Like, I've been in ballroom adjacent scenes, and it's all language that we use to talk to each other and communicate safety. Like, I see you, you see me, we from the same place.
Right. Yeah.
It's true.
And so now you'll see with the rise of social media, it becomes this thing where it's watered down, and now it's Gen Z language. Eating a look up is not Gen Z language, okay?
No.
It's something that the queens came up with, and y'all need to put some respect on that before you start saying it's Gen Z language. I feel so strongly about that.
Yeah,
I agree.
I love that.
I agree.
So Mo, how does a word like drip or fly change the way an outfit is perceived?
This one, I have it written out. So it says drip and fly elevate an outfit perception by influencing it with style and attitude. Drip suggests a scene of swagger and tenderness, often luxury and confidence. When fly conveys coolness, original. So that's what I got. Yeah, that's what it says.
I like that.
Yeah. So I just read, because I felt like when I was like looking it up, I'm like, I just feel like we say it. Like, some of them separates it from, this is just my opinion, but some of it separates it, but I feel like we just say it. Like, you look fly today.
It's whatever the mood is giving, and it's,
So that's what I was saying earlier. I kind of like got tongue tied, but I feel like we get dressed and whatever word Shay will tell me, then
it fits.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm dipped and I'm drip, So that's just how I look at it, but they had the breakdown of it. I feel like you were saying, like the Gen Z that got into it, and we just say how we felt, and then these words just evolve. But I feel like they do mean different things, but when we say it, that's how I feel. But
I'm not supposed to have like what Webster
Yeah.
definition.
It's
And
our
it just-
language,
it's
and
just-
we know when we say it to each other, we know what it means. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's the same exact word, but it's just different. And we just made up different types of ways of saying you're cool, you look amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, put it on, you know? So, yeah.
Oh.
That's just saying get dressed, you look fly when you do it. Okay. Okay, it's back to me. Or no, it's Lola.
Yes, Lola. So, what style word do you feel gets misused the most?
Chic.
Yeah.
I feel that's another word
That's
that
a
I
good one.
feel so strongly about.
Yeah.
Chic. To me, chic is less of how something looks on the inside or on the outside, and it's more of a manifestation of how somebody lives their life. And that chic, that je ne sais quoi, that often gets now translated into things like quiet luxury, like, oh, she's wearing monochrome, so chic. But chic is more than just
I agree.
elegant, clean lines.
Yes.
Like, to me, chic is a little off kilter. It's lived in, it's worn, it's indicative of the lifestyle that someone has. Like, when I see someone and I think that they're chic, I want to know, like, what were you thinking when you put that on? Like, how do you live your life? But yeah, I think that term is just so widely misused.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I don't use that word like that unless they
know?
really put it on.
And then
Like,
everybody,
Yes,
it's
like,
it's a lifestyle. I agree.
It's a lifestyle. Yeah, that is
It's a
very
lifestyle.
true. I really agree on that one. Okay, so Shay, why does context matter on much when using language rooted in Black culture?
Because context carries history, and this where we were speaking a little bit earlier about cultural appropriation and there's also cultural appreciation, and why that's such a big thing, because cultural appropriation is when you are putting on these clothes or wearing a certain thing and you do not understand the history, the culture behind it, and you also refuse to even acknowledge it. And so that's why context matters. When we get up and when we get dressed, it's so natural to us because it's our history, it's who we are. And so when we see someone who's not associated with the culture or understanding our history or had to struggle with our history, just put it on and go, oh, because it's a trend or it's a fad or it's cute. It's like, but that's not why we do it. We don't just do it because cute. Yeah, when we put it on, we make it look good, but that's not why we put it on. You know, it's a way that we express who we are. So that was my answer for that.
Okay, I like that. Okay, Lola, have you ever heard of a fashion term used in ways that felt off or disconnect from its roots?
I mean, I think there are a lot. Just generally scrolling on social media, you'll see people use words and forget that words mean things.
Yeah.
Or even just being, let's say, even in a corporate environment, right? And you're surrounded by a bunch of people who don't look like you, but in an effort to try to really, and I'm speaking from experience, when I used to work in the office, I worked in HR, but I would give them little fashion shows. I'll walk in and someone will be like, yes, slay. And I'm like, you're not even gay. Like, why are you saying that to me? Is it because I'm Black? So I think that a word often feels disconnected when you can clearly see that someone is putting it on like a linguistic costume.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it grinds my gears, but you can always tell when something feels disconnected, like they don't, to your point, understand the context, and it's almost feeling like they say the word just to say the word.
Yes.
And it just gives me the ick.
Yeah. It never hits one. You just be like,
Yeah. I just think the wrong person using words.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So, Mo, how do you see Black creatives using language today to reclaim or redefine style?
Okay. This is a good one. I really like this one. Okay, so the list I have, it says empowering vocabulary, storytelling, cultural slang, and challenging norms. That's what it says. So I'm going to read the definition. It says empowering vocabulary, influence, culture, power, and pride. Do not say power. Influence culture, pride into fashion definitions. And then it just gives this like authentic self, authentic. I cannot say that word, authenticity. Yes.
I can't say
I'm
it either.
hungry, y'all. And when I get hungry,
Oh, we know.
I am not myself.
We know.
Okay. And I was gonna eat my beef jerky, but look, hold on. And then the storytelling is just the influence of the history of things. Slang is unique
Is it
vernacular.
Vernacular.
Okay. And then the norms is traditional, assessed with style, and introduce a diversity. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I just kept it simple, but I also thought that those was like the best to keep it. I just feel like if you doing content and you creatives, like just to narrow it down to that. So yeah.
Lola, so who do you think is shaping the language of style right now?
It's always the Black queer community, Black trans women, always.
Mm-hmm.
But then also Black populations in predominantly white countries. Look at France. Like, look at how the French language right now is being shaped by like French West Africans and words that they use that are now intermingled with colloquial French. Like, I think that just look to them. And then I will include Gen Z, not necessarily as originators, but as amplifiers.
Oh, love that.
Adding their own perspective and meaning and getting these words out into the mainstream. I don't think that when things are mainstream, they're bad. When things are mainstream, it's an opportunity to look beyond the popularity and engage on a deeper level. So if you see a word that's popping and you want to take a deeper dive, you should do it. Like, I think that's why things go mainstream. Yes. It's not just enough to engage with it on a surface level, but like take the time to understand where these words and phrases come from.
I agree.
Love that. I love when you said amplify, because that is true.
They are very Gen Zers are very important.
Yes.
So. Y'all need to stop hating on millennials though.
Yeah, but
I don't like
but
that.
you guys are very important.
Yes.
So I will not take that from you.
I agree. I learned a lot from y'all, but I'm gonna need y'all to stop hating on millennials. We've been through a lot. Okay.
A lot.
Just saying, we used the start of a lot of stuff. Just saying. Okay, so we gonna wrap this up. Style isn't just what we wear, it's how we talk about it.
And when you understand the language, the style makes more sense.
And Black culture has always been at the center of both. Fits and facts. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.